Hi, one and all present here. This is Surya from Full Stack Web Development, working as an assistant professor in Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. And today we are going to see about the stateful components in ReactJS. And here we are going to see about the recap of the single event handlers on parent side that manages multiple documents along with the synthetic event and event bubbling and to efficient capture to delegate the integrations and to improve the performance, reduce the memory usage, and each and everything comes under the dynamic list menus, tables, and child elements are added or removed. And definition of stateful, that is stateful manage its own state, that is meaning it's remember the information about itself over the time that can be updated in UI when the state changes. The stateless component just display the data. Stateful component store, manage and update the data. For example, useState, that is hook, and the component is this dot state that comes under the class component to handle the state. Okay. And here the linear that is comes under the one by one process, remember, and you can check the state along with the progress of decisions. And the stateful components remember own data and updates based on the user actions. And why stateful components are important: keep track on the data that can changes over the time, make UI dynamic and interactive, re-render each and everything automatically when state updates, and keep logical and UI together inside the components. And the real life story for this is that attendance register. Imagine your class teacher is taking attendance. Each and every day they are taking the attendance, and we are saying the present or absentees, and you are marking the attendance in the register. And if the student comes late, you can update it. Register components and stateful components. Students are the data you can store which are present, and you can update who are updated, and your attendance board will be reflected in UI process, that is latest state. An example here is import. First thing you want to go along with the import useState, and the function comes under the attendance counter, that is constant, that is count, and set count, that is goes under the useState, and return the h2 header is attendance count, and the button on click that comes under the set count along with the mark present button. And how it works: first thing useState comes under the initialized states of 0. When the button is clicked, set count updates and the state, and React automatically rendered along with that and the new count. How the stateful component works internally: the stateful component works internally along with the storage state, and the second one state change that detects it. Third one re-render each and every parts. Fourth one fast and efficiency. Real life example. Here the real life example is items that are added in the cart and updates, and the cart remembers what inside, and that is the state. In React, the stateful component tracks item quantity and total price dynamically. And here next one is how stateful components works internally along with the key characters of stateful components. Have their own state along with the useState, this state. Each and everything can be updated in UI dynamically. Third one contain the both logic and data, and the final one cause re-rendering when the state change, and the last one is useful for the form, counter, toggle, and dynamic list. And React stateful components, it comes under the dive with the whole life cycle and manages the state efficiently with the application. The stateful components, that is for definition purpose and usage of application. The life cycle is mounting phase, updating phase, and unmounting phase. Mounting, it comes under creating and DOM insertions. Updating, response for the state or prop change. Unmounting comes under the DOM, cleaning resources for the component with the unmount stage. Managing the state in React. How we are going to manage the global state and local state? It manages each and everything with the shared process in the component, and the complex are needed to regex or content with the API. State initialization. State is usually initialized in constructor with the static or dynamic data. Choosing the right format in the crucial. State update updates each and every state along with the function mode to ensure the integrity of overtime. And when to use a stateful component: when the UI needs to remember something, we can use. When the data changes over the time, we can. And you want to interactivity, you can go along with that. And when to control UI, you can inside the component, we can go along with that. Example: button count, login form, counts, and cart items. and story recap, just like a keeper keeps the attendance and updates everything. Okay, that is called state components, and the keeps own state that comes under the UI whenever it happens. Okay, stateful versus stateless. State re-render each and everything. Stateful components re-render on the stage. Stateless components re-render when props change. Next example is state, and stateful component is yes, it can manage own data. Stateless no receive the props or anything. And the final takeaway is each and everything has been backbone of dynamic React app, and the dynamic React apps have store data, update state, and re-render UI. So here we have managed its own state and with interactive, smart, efficient. Okay. The best practice component composition, minimize the state and use hook. And mind map, we have saw here what we have done. And the puzzle you can manage along with us. And thank you all.